Good morning, everyone. I hope I am audible and visible to all of you. Wishing you all a very good morning and welcome to this class of physics. Today, we'll be doing lecture 3 on work, power, and energy. Up till now, what we have done, we have seen what is work done. It's the dot product of force with displacement. Is the integral of dot product of force with displacement. We have seen work done by a constant force. And now we will try to see work done by a variable force, and then we will move on to work done by specific forces. So you would be able to understand work done in complete understanding. Okay. In the last class, I gave you a task to read the part of variable work done by variable force. Have you done this part? I gave you a task. Did you have the notes with you? Yes or no? No, you did not have the notes? Yes, I see some raised hand at the back. So I think you had notes. If you did not have notes, well, then that's a fault on my part. So I'll take back my words. If I've told you to read the part and you did not have notes, that is a different issue altogether. Right now, do you have notes with you? The notes that I have sent you? All of you have the notes? No? Still no? Already sent it twice. I will again confirm it with the office. The notes are there with you, and I hope that you will get it maybe today. I don't know why it is not put. Anyways, the topic for today is work done by a variable force. Now, remember this one thing always. Whenever we are saying work done by a variable force or variable acceleration, if I just take you back in time, and I tell you that acceleration, oops, wrong color. Why did I use this color? Acceleration is dv by dt. Now, acceleration is dv by dt. If you remember this, or if I write it like this, dv vector is a dt, a vector multiplied by dt, and if you want to find out the change in velocity, you can find out by integrating a with dt. Now remember, this equation that I have written over here is valid for all cases. When I say all cases, it is valid when the acceleration is constant. It is valid when the acceleration is constant. It is also valid when the acceleration is variable. I hope you remember this. This equation a dt ka integral, which is v dv, is valid whether the acceleration is constant or whether the acceleration is variable. It doesn't depend on that. Now, when I integrate it, remember, mark my words, when I integrate it, and if the acceleration is constant, the result is different. The result is different. And when the acceleration is variable, the results are completely different. Now, when the acceleration is constant and you integrate it, what you get on the left-hand side is v minus u vector. I'm writing it in vectors. V minus u, where v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, and on the right-hand side, you get a multiplied by t. Vector a multiplied by t. Now, this is the answer you get when the acceleration is constant. But if the acceleration is variable, the answer would be different depending on what is acceleration depending on. It is directly proportional to t, inversely proportional to t, or whatever. So this result, which I have written over here, v minus u is at, is only valid when the acceleration is constant. This is a precursor to what I wanted to say. Now, when we wrote dw, small amount of work done, is f dot ds, it's a small revision of what we have done, then I told you that total work done would be the integral of this. And when I integrated it, on the left hand side, I wrote delta w. Again, we are still to find out y delta w. That is equal to integral of f dot ds. Now remember, this is the definition of work done. Now, this integral of f dot ds will always be equal to work done whether the force is constant, which was the case that we were dealing up till now, or the force is variable. So even if the force is constant or even if the force is variable, this is the definition of work done. It always remains same, similar to the case that the definition of acceleration is dv by dt. It does not change whether acceleration is constant or whether acceleration is variable. Now, as what we have seen in the previous class, that when force is constant, then I can write this integral in this form. I can write the work done delta W. Still, we don't know why we are using delta W. Delta, I will tell you, don't worry. If force is constant, then I can simply write the above integral as simply f dot delta r. I've written delta s there, I've written delta r here, so I'll just make it delta r so that the confusion does not rise. So when you find out the work for a constant force and you solve the integral on the right hand side, you will just get the value which we were using up till now. But if the force is variable, then obviously we will not get the same integral, we will not get the same answer. The integral will be same, but the answers would be different depending on what does force depend on. If the force is constant, the answer is always clear. Nothing changes that answer. Answer is always clear. Now, the next step is for us to understand how will I calculate this integral. There are different ways of doing it. We'll talk about the most general way. If you understand that general way, you should be able to do the simpler questions that will come in your exam. So what is the most general way? And to understand this most general way, we do not need any rocket science or quantum physics. We can just do it simply. How we can do it simply? So if I write force in the most general way, F vector can be written as, obviously it would be a three-dimensional force. So I will write it like this: Fx I hat plus Fy j hat plus Fz k hat. This is the most general representation of force where Fx, Fy, and Fz are your component of force along x, y, and z axis. These can be variable, these can be constant. Fx could be a constant, Fx could be a variable. Fy could be a constant, Fy could be a variable, doesn't matter. I'm just writing it in the simplest possible way. Now, if I write dr is a small displacement. Now, dr vector, if I write, now if I make a small displacement, the particle may displace along x. So I will write it as dx along I, plus the particle may displace along y. So dyj, plus the particle may displace along z axis. So it is dzk. Now you would be very unlucky if you get a question which has all x, y, and z. This is the most difficult question that can be made, and it has still not come in JEE. When I say JEE, I mean JEE Advanced. I don't consider JEE Main as JEE. For me, JEE Main is something different. When I say JEE, I mean JEE Advanced. Because in my time, when I was of your age, there was no JEE Main, there was only JEE. There was no Advanced, it was IIT JEE. So for me, JEE means IIT JEE. Okay, so this is how I write it. Now, what do I need to do? I will first have to find out f dot dr. And what I'm going to do, delta w, again, I have not told you why delta. Delta w is simply integral of f dot dr. This is the most general way in which I can write work. And this is the definition of work. No one can change it. What do? I just replace f by the value of f. What is the value of f here? F vector is simply equal to fxi fyj plus fzk. Dr vector is simply equal to dxi dyj dzk. I'll give you 1 minute to find out the dot product and write what you get after the dot product. Remember, it's important that you do something on your own with your own hands for the first time, because if you can do it for the first time with your own hands, you will never, ever, ever forget it. I'll give you a minute. What will be the dot product of these two vectors? You know how to find a dot product. 1 minute, do it. So how many of you have done this? Can you raise hands and tell me how many of you have done this? I think the camera got stuck. I only see stuck faces. Or is my internet gone? Don't know. Online students, can you hear me? Can you see me? Ting, 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 ting. Karthik, Charita, Shreya, can you see me, beta? Okay, okay. That means the camera is stuck on the other side. Now it is. I think the internet is not working on the other side of the spectrum. Anyways, I don't see you moving. So what I'll do is let me see if I. Okay. So I hope that you have taken the dot product. What will happen if I take the dot product? On the left hand side, oh, wrong color. On the left hand side, I have delta W. I've still not told you what is delta W. I'll tell you, don't worry. What do I have on the right hand side? Do I have the students online or no? The camera is gone. Okay, what do I have on the right side? I have to take the dot product of F with dr. Now I will get dotted with I, the rest is 0. J will get dotted with J, the rest is 0. K will get dotted with K, the rest is 0. So basically what will I have? I will have the integral fx dx plus fy dy plus fz dz. This is the integral that you will be getting finally, and you can always find the work done by this integral no matter what. You should be able to find out the work done by this integral when even if the force is constant or even if the force is variable. Do you see me, everyone? I am not sure whether you are able to see me. Is everyone able to see me in the class? Everyone? Can you raise hands and let me know that you can see me? Okay, so this is what you get in the integral part fx dx plus fy dy plus fz dz That is what we are looking at now. This integral is valid even if the force is constant. It is valid for a constant force. It is also valid for a variable force. So you don't have to worry about constant or variable force. If the force is constant, you can obviously use the first one that we have already done. If the force is variable, you can always switch on to this one. Or the better thing is, and I always say, the better thing is always to use one, and why should be concerned about whether the force is constant or variable. So this is how you can do any question that comes on work done by a force, and there cannot be any question that comes in work done and you cannot do it by this. So that is all that you need to know. Whether a question comes in mains or advanced, this is what you need to know. Now let us put this to test. Let us put this to test and see if I can find out the work done by a force using this concept. So I'll give you a question. Question number 1. And let us see how are we going to do it. So a force, I'm giving you a force F. F vector is 2I minus 3J plus 4K displaces a body from point A, which is 1, 2, 3, to point B, which is 2, 3, 1. Find the work done. Now, as you can see, this is a constant force. You can obviously do it with the original tarika. So now you will do it with the two tarikas, the two ways. The first way will be the original way for a constant force. You can use that way. The second way would be the new way that you have learned, so that you understand that the new way that you have learned is valid whether the force is constant or whether the force is variable. Your time starts now. Everyone in the online class, do we understand this? Karthik, Charit, Shashank, Shreya. Okay. So you have to do it in both the ways so that you have this confidence that whatever the question is, you can solve it. If the force is constant, if you are confident that it is constant, not a problem. If you're not confident if it is a constant force, you can always use the general method, which I am very confident about. 1 minute for you to do it. I am also solving. Now, the first method is by using F dot delta R, because I know for sure that this force is a constant force. The first way would be by doing it with this. What is the force? As you can see, force is simply equal to 2I minus 3J plus 4K. How much is the displacement? I hope you know how to find out the displacement. Final position is point B. Initial position is point A. You can subtract A from B and you will get the displacement. Can anyone tell me what is the displacement vector? You have the mic with you in the class. Online students have their mobile or pads. Can you tell me what is the answer for a displacement in the first case?
Sir, minus 9 joules, sir.
Oh, we got the answer straight away. Well done. I was just looking for the displacement. Beta, can you tell me what is the displacement first?
Displacement is I cap plus j cap minus 2 cap.
Very good. I plus j minus or plus 2? Yeah, minus 2 k hat. How did I get it? I just subtracted the initial position from the final position. 2 minus 1 I plus 3 minus 2j plus 1 minus 3k. So I get the answer as, for the displacement vector, as I plus j minus 2k. The second step or the first step is now just finding out the work done. Work done is the dot product of these. I don't have to write it again. We have to save time. Remember, J means especially is a matter of doing it in the right time. The questions are going to be simple. They are not judging you on physics. They are judging you on your speed. JEE Advanced judges you on your knowledge. JEE Main judges you on your speed. So now you can find the dot product. 2I dot I will be 2. Minus 3j dot j will be minus 3. 4k dot minus 2k will be minus 8. So my answer should be minus 9 units. Let me assume that everything is in SI units. So answer will be minus 9 joules. Do we get it, everyone? In the class, please raise your hands. In the online class, please raise your hands. Okay. That was how it was done. Since the force was constant, not a problem. Now, let me do it using this one. And you must understand that both the tariqas are different. Both the methods are same. F dot dr, I will not write F dot dr now. I will just write the formula that I derived, fx dx plus fy dy. Now in this case, this method may look somewhat longer, and that is why I given you method number 1. If the force is constant, remember J means is an exam for speed, not your knowledge. Plus fz dz. In this case, this tarika will look longer because it is longer, because it is the general tarika. Always the general method is longer. You have to look for what some people call shortcuts. I don't call them shortcuts because I think shortcut is a very wrongly and loosely used term. I will call it smart work. So for me, it is not shortcut, it is smart work. Now, I will just put the values. I will just put the values here. Now you can see fx is 2. Fx is 2. So it will be integral of 2 dx. Fy, if you see, is minus 3. So minus 3 into dy plus fz is 4. 4 into d. So that will be the integral. Do we understand this? Yes or no? Anyone has any doubt? So now what I'll do is I will break it up into 3 integrals. One will be the integral of x. 2 will come out. 2 is constant. Minus 3 into integral of dy. 3 is minus 3 is constant. It comes out. Plus 4 times integral of dz. 4 is constant. dz comes out of the integrals. I hope everyone is following me. What next? I have to put the limits of x from where to where x is varying. Everyone knows that. From where to where x is varying. X is varying. The initial position is 1 and the final position is 2. For y, initial position is 3. Oh, I'm writing it ulta. Mistake. For x, the initial position is 1 and final position is 2. For y, initial position is 2, final position is 3. So I put initial and final limit, lower limit, upper limit. For z, initial position is 3 and final position is 1. Do we all follow this? How I put the limits? The lower limit is the initial position. The upper limit is the final position. Initial position on x is 1. Final position on x is 2, and so on. That is how I get the limit for integral. Now you would be telling me, sir, this is a long method. Yes, I've told you already it is a long method, but this is the general method and this is how you need to do it. 2 times. What is the integral of dx? You all know it. Integral of dx is x. X. Limit from 1 to 2 minus 3 times. What is the integral of dy? Integral of dy is y. Limit taken from 2 to 3 plus 4 times. What is the integral of dz? Integral of dz is z. Z taken from 3 to 1. That will be equal to 2 times. I will put first x as 2. So it is 2 minus 1 minus 3 times y is 3, then 2. So 3 minus 2 plus 4 times z is 1 minus 3. Now, if you look very closely, here, you will understand what do I get finally. What do I get finally? You understand it very clearly. What do I get finally? If you look at this is fx. This one is fy. And this one is fg. We all know this. I take it off. This is fy, fx, fy, and fc. Now, what we got here is 2 minus 1. Final position minus initial position. 3 minus 2. Final position minus initial position. 1 minus 3. Final position minus initial position. So basically, when the force is constant, everything remains same. This 2 just remains out, 3 remains out, 4 remains out, and hence you can make that general formula F dot delta R. The answer is same as F dot delta R, and you will get minus 7 joules. Do we understand this? How that general result was formed? That general result was obviously formed calculating the entire integral, and then from the final result, we write the original equation.
Sir,
Do you
minus
all
9
understand
joules, sir.
this? Yes, beta?
Minus 9 joules.
Minus 9, okay. Minus 9. Correct? I forget the numbers. I told you that. So we got this. The answers are same in both cases. Yes or no? You will get the same answer because everything is derived using the same concept. Now, this method would look is definitely longer than the shortcut or the smart work that I gave you. It's because general method is always long. So how do you get to those smart works? I'll tell you the smart works, but some of the smart works for you, you will have to do it on your own. That is how you will improve. Now I give you a question and I will expect that you would be able to solve this. Question number 2. I should use black ink for the question, so I just use black ink. Now the force is like this, F y x. F vector. Now I'm trying to give you the most complicated force that can ever come in a JEE Advanced, not in JEE Mains. JEE Mains, they hardly can give such a question. Probably the question would be of one dimension, force in one dimension. I'm giving you a 3-dimensional force. So the force is like this, 3x square I hat minus 4y j hat plus 3 times k hat. Now this force displaces a particle from 1, 2, 3, same point, to 3, 1, 2. Find the work done. Now remember, the formula F dot delta R, you just find delta R and dot it with F will not give you the right answer because here, as you can see, force is not constant. So your time starts now. I hope you can give me the answer and the solution. 2 minutes. everyone in the online class as well as offline class. I hope you are trying it and you understand how to do it. Now, the only way you can do it is by using the general method. The general method may be longer, but that is the only one that you have. That is the only one that you have.
Sir, what is the coefficient of K?
3 beta. 3. I've given you the most general question. The coefficient of K is 3.
Then there is no Z, no, sir.
So, in the first question, was there any Z in K? So I've given you a force which is variable along X and Y, but which is not variable along Z axis. Are you getting my point, beta?
Yes, sir.
So I've given you a mixed force. You can get any question in JEE. So the force is variable along X and Y. It is not variable along Z axis. So Z wala answer you can get from the original tarika. Now, that is what I'm telling you. The more the number of questions you do, the better you become. Anyone got the answer? Answers are not important. Answer may
6x
be
square plus
yes, beta.
6x square plus 4y minus 3.
That's not the answer. That's still a question. I have to get a number. Force. Yeah, the work done is a
19.
number. It cannot be something Y, Z, nothing, because that will not make any sense. Yes, beta.
19, sir.
19. Okay, I got an answer. Let me write this. The first answer that I've got is 19. Again, answers don't matter. What matters is that you are trying. That is all what I know. I'll give you 1 more minute to do it. I am not doing it first. I'm giving you a chance to do it because I always believe and I know that if you can do it in the first time, you have understood it and you will never forget it. So I'll give you 1 more minute. I have time. Don't worry. I will not rush into things.
Sir,
Yes, beta.
18, sir. 18 joules.
Okay. I got the second answer. When you say any answer, please tell your name also, na, so that I will be able to recognize you. Because I mean, on this side of the screen, you are on the other side. You are all wearing masks. It's difficult for me to understand you, to recognize you. Anyone else with any other answer? Online, offline. Online, I can just read the names and I can recognize. Okay, I got an online answer as well. Let's see what's that answer. 25. Karthik says 25. Okay, so I've got some varied answers. Again, answers are not important. Why I'm asking you answers? Because that tells me that you are trying the question. Answers are not at all important. Answers are the least important thing that I'm concerned about. I'll be concerned about your answers only in your final exam. Nothing else. Nothing before it. Okay, let us go and solve this. The only way I can solve this is find the work done using this integral fx dx. I'm writing the shortcut, not shortcut, the smart cut, fy dy plus fz dz. I'll just put the values. I'll just put the values and I'll again mark them for everyone to understand. Fx, the yellow one, is 3x square. Okay. Fy, the green one, is minus 4y. Do not forget the plus minus sign. Fz is a constant, is 3. I just put the values. Delta W, work done, is integral of fx 3x square dx minus 4y dy plus 3 dz. Now remember, JEE mains or JEE advanced also to a certain extent is exam which tests your knowledge, but also it tests your speed. So we should not, this is not a board exam that I have to write all the steps. We have to cut short some steps. I don't have to break the integral, do it integral separately. I can just do it in one. and I can cut short some steps so that I can get to the answer quickly. So the first integral, the yellow integral, is the integral of 3x squared dx. I don't have to write it separately. What is the integral of 3x squared dx? 3 will come out. X square, what is the integral of x squared dx? So the answer would be 3x cubed by 3. I have to put the limits of x. What are the limits of x? The lower limit is 1 and the upper limit is 3. So what I have done, I have cut the beach wala 2 steps out, separating the integrals, integrating them, putting the limits, everything has been cut, and I have reached the final step where I have integrated it and I have written the result straight away. Do you all understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this in the class? Girls, boys, in the online class. Okay, so I've cut down some steps so that I can do it quickly. And that is how you proceed. Now, -4 comes out. Y dy ka integral is y square by 2. So I straight away write y square by 2. And I put the integration limits. Y integration limit, initial limit, lower limit 2, upper limit 1. So I'll just mark it by green and yellow so that you understand how I've achieved this. So this is 3x cubed by 3. This is -4y dy, -4y dy. So this is -4y square by 2. And I am just putting the limits. The limits are also in green, 1 and 2. 2 is the initial limit, lower limit, 1 is the final limit. So I've marked everything here in different colors. 3 colors I recognize and 3 colors I've used. What is the initial point? Lower limit is 2, upper limit is 1. I also mark those limits in yellow and green so that you understand from where I have got those limits for you. The last thing, I don't have to integrate this, I can write it straight away, but again, if I mix two things, I will just get confused. I have a very small brain that I get confused, so I'll just write it as plus 3 integral of dz, as you can see, integral of dz, 3 dz, 3 will come out, integral of dz is simply z. So I will write 3z and I will put the limits. What are the limits? The lower limit is 3, upper limit is 2, 3, 2. You might make a mistake in writing the limit, but you have to be careful. Even I can make a mistake. Anyone can make a mistake. That is what you get. Now it is very simple. You can just cancel some stuff out. This is 2. So now you can write the final answer. So x cube remains x cube. First limit is, the upper limit is 3. So it is 3 cube minus 1 cube. This is my answer for the yellow one. -2 is outside. So I take -2 outside. 1 square minus 2 square. That is the answer for the green integral. Plus 3 times 2 minus 3. That is the answer for the pink integral. I will not go any further. I hope you can solve this. Get me the answer from here. What is the answer that you? What is the answer? No one got the answer? This is, I think, 26.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, beta?
Sir, can you please repeat the last second step, sir?
Yeah, that is the integral, beta. Integral of x square. X square is x cubed by 3. And this 3 comes out of the integral.
Indra.
Integral of y is y squared by 2.
Your answer is 29.
29. Well done. I hope you have done it correctly. -4 comes out of the integral, beta. Y dy ka integral is y squared by 2. You have to remember integration. 3 3 comes out. Only thing in the integral is dz. Integral of dz is z. I have just integrated it, nothing else. Do you remember the initial formula of integration? Integral of x to the power n dx is x to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus a constant c. I am not using the constant c because I have the upper and the lower limit. Do we understand this better now? You have to remember the integration wale cheezein. See, as I told you, maths and physics go hand in hand. And in physics, whatever we have done in the first class will be coming to you in the last class. You have to remember it. Do we understand this? Can I have some raise hand now? What about the online students? We got this. So how I've done this? I have not waved any magic wand. I've just used the simple principle. I've calculated the, I made the integral, found out the value of fx, fy, and fz, put it back into the integral, solve the integral, and I am done. Shall we move ahead? If anyone has any doubt, you can definitely ask. I'll give you a minute, 2 minutes to go through this question. Remember, this is the most difficult question that can ever come in a JEE advanced ka paper. I don't think it can even come in a JEE mains ka paper. JEE main ka paper will not be a question which has 3-dimensional force. So this is a question meant for JEE advanced. So this is probably the most difficult question that can ever come. Ever, ever. When I say ever, it means ever. Okay, shall we move ahead? And this is the question that comes to you. And remember, as I said, that 3-dimensional force will only come in JEE advanced. We move on to problem number 6. Problem number 6. A position dependent force F is equal to, it is written as vector, but again, it is only on the x-axis. 7 minus 2x plus 3x square. Remember, this is the force that is along x-axis only, because the particle is getting displaced from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 5. Now remember, I've also started to do this new thing for you. Remember this thing. In JEE, main or advanced, when I say JEE, I actually mean JEE advanced. In JEE, you only get one chance or one time to read the question. And in that one time, you must be able to understand the question. If you read the question twice or God forbid 3 times, you have actually used the time of the other 2 questions and then you will be in a fix. You have to read question only once. And in that one reading, you should be able to understand the essence of the question. What the question is asking, what information is given, and that is why I'm going to highlight those things by underlining it, so that you also get into this habit of underlining the important parts of this question that will help you in understanding the question and solving it. Here it is a position dependent force varying along x-axis. The SI unit is Newton, so I have marked it. Mass of the block is 2 kg. Displace it from x is equal to 0. So this is the initial position and this is the final position. You have to find out the work done. Your time starts now. You should be able to read the question in 30 seconds, 25 to 30 seconds, and you should be able to solve it in the rest 30 seconds. 1 minute per question. That should be your ideal speed. 1 to 1.5 to 2 minutes. Cannot take 2 minutes, more than 2 minutes to solve a question. How do you do it? Remember, the force that I gave you was a 3-dimensional force. You will never encounter a 3-dimensional force. You will only encounter maybe 1-dimensional or 2-dimensional. 2-dimensional even is harder to come in JEE main or JEE advanced. 3-dimensional is out of course probably. So what is the work done in this process. Don't look at the year of this exam. It is immaterial because these questions have come many times in many exams. Don't look at this. Anyone got the answer for this one? Online students, offline students. Something wrong with the mic? Okay. How do you do it? This is the force varying along x-axis. So simply it is integral of fx dx, fy
Sir,
dy.
135 joules.
Yes, it's very simple, beta. You just have to integrate fx dx. Fy dy is not there, fz dz is not there. You will hardly get any question with fy and fz. So I gave you the most difficult one, and then we are solving the most simplest one, which are going to come in your exam. So this is integral of fx dx. Simply, you have to integrate this 7 dx. It will be 7x minus 2x dx. Minus 2 will come out. X dx ka integral is x square by 2. 2 se 2 will get cancelled, so it will be x square. We are cutting short the steps and getting to the answer. 3x square, 3 will come out. X square dx ka integral, x cube by 3. 3 will come out, will cancel. The answer will be x cube. Then you will put the limit. The good point here is initial limit is 0, so you don't have to take that limit. So you only need to put the final limit. So the final limit will be 7x, 7 into 5 minus 5 square plus 5 cube, and that will be the answer. I've done it orally. I hope you have understood how I have done this. Can I have some raise hand that you have understood this? Everyone in the class, boys on the right, boys on the left, girls on the right, we understand this? Great. Boys in the online class, boys and girls in the online class, Karthik, Charita, Shreya, Shashank, we all there in the same class, right? Okay. Again, let us not do question problem number 7 because it looks very simple. Okay, so I think this part is done. We have done the most complicated questions. You can also do the most simple ones. So what I'll do is I'll give you there I think from problem number 6 we have done. Problem number 7 you can do as homework. Same for problem number 8 and problem number 9. So 6 problem we have done. 7, 8, and 9 are for you to be done at homework. I think you may not be able to do problem number 8. I will make sure that you get your this sheet with you. I'll just call up the office people and probably get it done. Problem number 8 up till 9 will be your homework, right? Let us now move on and do one more small thing, which might be small, but which might come straightforward in your JEE main or advanced. Work done by force displacement graph. Now, sometimes your force displacement, they always write it displacement because that is the most widely used terms. Normally, it is a force position graph. Theoretically, it should be a force position graph. So what they do is they plot position. Here it is written displacement. They plot position on the x-axis and they plot force on the y-axis. Now remember, they're talking about one-dimensional force. Remember, they're talking about one-dimensional force. Now, if I talk about a one-dimensional force, work done by the force will be integral of fx dx. Do we understand this? Just now we have done this. Integral of fx dx plus fy dy plus fz dz. Now, if it is a one-dimensional force, it is the integral of fx dx. Now, if it is the integral of fx dx and you have plotted fx here and x here, the area under this graph, from x1 to x2, initial x to final x, would be your work done. So this is another way in which the same question can be asked, and you could be asked to find out the work done by this force when a graph is given. Normally, the graph will be given between f and x, force along x and x. You just need to calculate the area under this graph. That will give you the work done by this force. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this? So instead of giving force in vector form or giving force as a function of x, they can give you a graph. If they give you a graph, you can calculate work done from that graph itself by calculating the area under that graph. Do we understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? So now, if you have understood this, then you should be able to solve this question, problem number 10. It is here on your screens. Again, you read the problem once and you mark out the important points, which I'll do for you. Read the question once, mark out the important points. A 10 kg mass, so mass is 10 kg, moves along x-axis. Its acceleration as a function of its position is shown in the figure. What is the total work done by force when it moves from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 8? That is the question. Your time starts now. Your time starts now. What is the work done by this force? Remember, here acceleration is plotted. We need area under force displacement graph, your force position graph. Here acceleration is given. The only thing you have to find out force. If you know acceleration, you will know force. The net force will be mass into acceleration. Yes or no? Do you understand this? So here the force is 0 and here the acceleration is 20. Acceleration is 20. Mass is 10. So the force becomes 200 Newton. Do we all understand this? Yes or no? You just need to calculate the area under this graph. This is a triangle, half base into height. Can now you tell me what is the answer for this one? Do we all understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this, sir? Everyone in the online class and offline class, I don't see raise hands. Karthik, Charita, Shashank, Shreya, do we understand? Force was not given, acceleration was given. I just did a small thing, multiply mass with acceleration, and I got the answer. What is the answer, anyone? Here it is how it is solved. Work done on the mass. You multiplied mass by the area under acceleration displacement or acceleration position graph, half base into height multiplied by mass, and your answer is this much, 8 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 joules. Do you all understand this? Can I have some raise hands? Okay, if you have done this now, here is a somewhat different question. Question in the same category, but it has some area above x-axis and some area below x-axis. Now I have not told you what will be the area above x-axis and what will be the area below x-axis, but now you have to use your common sense and brain and let me know what is the answer to problem number 11. Do we all understand the problem? The relationship between force and position, I'm marking out the important points, is given one-dimensional case. Work done by the force from 1 to 5 centimeters. Remember,
Sir.
CGS units, so the answer would be in ergs. Here also force is given in Diane, and your time starts now. I have not told you what will happen when the graph is on the negative side. This is what you will have to think on your own. Your time starts now. Everyone in the online class, are we doing the question? Yes or no?
Sir,
Yes, beta.
once explain previous problem, sir.
You have to find the area under the graph, beta. Just found the area half base into height multiplied by mass. What you do not understand, beta, in that? What you do not understand? I've just found out the area under this graph. It's a triangle. I found out the area, half base into height. That's it. Work done is area under force displacement graph. I've just found out the area. You can find out the area of the triangle, yes or no? I've done that, nothing else. Base is 8 centimeter. 8 centimeter has to be converted into meters. Here it is centimeter per second square. So it has to be converted into meter per second square. So you have to divide it by 100. I have not done that, I forgot. So I'll just do it now. Divide it by 100 and you will get your answers. I did not see the units. Okay. Am I clear? As I told you, you have to be careful in seeing the units. The units were given in
Sir.
yes, Peter.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay. I just wrote 200 Newton. I did not see the unit. See, I have very small eyes and my eyesight is weak. I did not see it is centimeter per second square. Okay. Shall we move right now? What about question number 11? Have you done this question number 11, anyone? So how do I do it? I break it into small areas. So the first area is this one, area number 1, area number 2, area number 3, and area number 4. Do we all understand these areas? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've broken it into small areas. I've broken up into small areas. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I made it bigger so that you can see it. What is the area of diagram number 1? You don't have to think about the units because it is all CGS. It will be 1 multiplied by 10. Yes or no? Do we understand this? Area of figure number 2, rectangle 1 into 20. Base is 20, length is 20, breadth is 10, whatever it is. 1 and 10. Area number 4 is 1 into 10 again. Remember, all these are positive because force and displacement both are positive. Force and displacement both are positive. But the area number 3 is negative. That was the only point that you had to understand here. Did we get the answer for this, everyone? 1, 2, and 4, force and displacement both are positive, and hence the area is positive. Third number, force is negative, displacement is positive, therefore area is negative. Do we all understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understood this? Everyone in the offline class, everyone in the online class. The answer is finally 20 ergs. And that is the final answer for this question. Do we all understand this? Yes or no? Online and offline students, can I have some raise hand that we understand this? Okay, so I've given you homework. In homework, you have to do question number 7, 8, and 9. 7 and 9 on homework. Then we have also done question number 10 and 11. Question number 12, you might not be able to do it. So we will do it in the next class. 7, 8, and 9 will be the homework for you for tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, you have an exam on Sunday. Whatever we have covered up till now, everything will come. Not the chapter of work by energy. Work by energy probably will come from the next paper. So that's all from my side for today. What we have covered in today's class? In today's class, we have seen the general formula, the general concept of finding out the work done by the force. That general concept is applicable for all types of forces, whether it's a constant force or it's a variable force. It's valid for all forces. Then we have also seen that if you have a force displacement graph or an area displacement graph, force position graph or area position graph, from how and where you can find out the work done from that graph. Area under that graph will give you work done. If the area is above x-axis, positive work. If the area is below x-axis, negative work. Do you all understand this? Can I have someone raise hand for the last time in this class? Okay. The class is over from my end. In tomorrow's class, we will go ahead, see more things, and I'll also tell you why I have used delta. So that is the topic for the next class. Take care and have a nice day. If you have any doubts, you can ask it now.